Do you rely on mobile internet in your travels?
If so, the COVID-19 outbreak might have some unanticipated impacts on your ability to stay connected.
Hi there, I'm Cherie,
And I'm Chris.
and this is a rare video in which we're both on camera at the same time. And we wanted to share with you some of our thoughts on how the self-isolation might have an impact on the mobile internet that a lot of us rely on in our travels as RVers and cruisers.
So, first off, this COVID-19 outbreak is impacting the entire world. And that is actually having a huge impact on supply chains and supplies of gear and technology. So, even though at the moment places like Amazon are still delivering and most of the online retailers are still opening, the supply of new gear is starting to dry up. We've heard from Wi-Fi Ranger and PepWave and others that they're having a shortage of incoming products because of the impacts on China and international shipping. So if you have particular tech gear that you want to get your hands on, do it as quickly as possible and be prepared for shortages and delays. And this could impact your ability to stay connected.
Now, a lot of us rely on cellular and Wi-Fi, like the Wi-Fi you might get at a marina or a campground, to get online. Now with cellular, we're expecting some variations in how that might affect the way we get online as mobile folks, or if you're even choosing to be stationary. Now in markets where a lot of the people who are staying home to work remotely, they're being asked to not come into offices, they're being asked to school remotely. Instead, they're going to be using a lot more bandwidth to work, to learn, and keep entertained remotely. And in markets where there's strong cable and DSL already deployed, it's probably not going to have much impact on the cellular signals that we all get.
Cellular actually might be less congested because more people are working from home and are not out and about.
True. So depending upon where you're deciding to hunker down through all of this in an RV or a boat, you may see increased network congestion, or you may see actually better bandwidth because less people are just using cellular to keep online in their daily course of life. But in rural areas where there isn't strong cable or DSL, where people already are relying on different cellular connections to keep online, they may be online more and using more bandwidth, and that may impact the actual cellular performance that you get. Now, all of the carriers are doing different reactions to make this easier for their customers. Part of the Keep Families Connected pledge, the FCC is asking all of them to waive late fees and cancellation fees. That should hopefully help some people. T-Mobile and Sprint, they're kind of already starting to act as if the merger has gone through, and they both are giving all data plans that have tiered data unlimited on-device data for 60 days. So you'll get that through the middle of May. And all plans will be getting 20 gigabytes of high-speed mobile hotspot use added to their plan. So that should be a great way and great option for people to keep online with their existing data plans. At present time, AT&T has only upped their fixed wireless internet, home internet broadband options, and made those unlimited. They have not made any moves yet or made any announcements about their cellular mobile internet. And same with Verizon.
Okay, now on to Wi-Fi. So also as part of this Keep America Connected pledge, most of the Wi-Fi network providers are basically opening their networks to allow anyone to have unlimited access to them. So we've got like a Comcast Xfinity, that's the largest Wi-Fi network in the country. There's Xfinity hotspots, a lot of places you will go, and normally in the past you had to be a Comcast customer or buy a day pass. Now if you see an Xfinity hotspot, you can get on unlimited. Spectrum is also doing the same thing, Cox, Verizon, and AT&T. So all of these networks that have large amounts of hotspots deployed in whole lot of places, you should now be able to get on without having to pay, even if you're not already a customer. So a lot more Wi-Fi access out there, and you might have completely tuned out from checking for it because you weren't qualified to get on now. Now you've got unlimited Wi-Fi, hopefully fast enough where you need it.
But keep in mind, the more people using Wi-Fi shared networks, the more they can get clunked down just from congestion and people streaming Netflix. They all use high bandwidth. So do anticipate some increased congestion on shared Wi-Fi networks.
And then now, speaking about increased congestion, there's potential for increased congestion of the internet as a whole, because there's so many people working from home, streaming, doing things that, basically spending their days online, and instead of going to their traditional jobs or out and about, that the whole traffic patterns for the entire internet are shifting around dramatically, and it might take a while for the networks to adjust. There might be places where there's not enough backhaul capacity, and things might get sluggish in ways they never have before. So be prepared to be patient, particularly in some small towns where the entire town's uplink to the rest of the internet might just be a single microwave tower or a single piece of fiber optic cable, and there might be more congestion overall impacting an entire region, not just an individual cell tower. So be prepared for that and be patient if you can.
And keep in mind, the people that are maintaining this infrastructure, they're also dealing with this just like the rest of us. So they may be asked to work from home. They're not hands-on. They may be understaffed as more of their team becomes infected or is dealing with the COVID virus or the COVID disease itself. And that's another point with the applications that we all use to get online and communicate with each other. So if you're working remotely and maybe you're using Zoom, who has been seeing an exponential number of new signups in the last few weeks, is how well these systems are scalable to handle this increased load that these systems have not seen before. And that remains to be seen. And keeping in mind, again, that the people operating them may also be now working remotely, or they may become understaffed during this time. This also applies if you are using like a company hosted centralized system, maybe a WebEx or VPNs or remote desktop sort of things. These systems weren't designed for everybody in their company to be working remotely. So there may be some glitches and things that you need to work around. And of course, it remains to be seen how YouTube and Netflix and Hulu and all these other streaming services work with everybody getting their entertainment from streaming video content. Right. So it remains to be seen. So just have some backup plans. Communicate with your teams now that you need to communicate with your friends and family that you might be depending on FaceTime and other things. Is alternate ways that you might reach each other should these systems have temporary outages, as we all use them a lot heavier in the weeks and months ahead.
So no, we are all in this together around the country and around the world. Give each other as much patience and space as you can. And, well, I guess remember to wash your hands, keep your social distance, and hopefully all these measures will pay off and help us get through this.
Right. Hopefully through the connections of mobile internet that a lot of us rely on, we'll feel much more connected to each other, and we'll just have to do it in different ways. We'll still be here. Our staff is entirely remote. We're all RVers and cruisers. We all work remotely. We're all intending to still be tracking mobile internet news here on this YouTube channel, on our website. If there's any updates to what the carriers are doing and as far as perks and things during this, that'll be updated in the accompanying article that goes along with this. We're still just so grateful that we're member supported. We're going to try to keep going through member support and not trying to rely on advertising and sponsorships and things like that to get through this ourselves. So all small business owners appreciate the support of their communities in whatever way that you can give it, even if it's just a thank you in the comments. Yep. We super appreciate knowing that our efforts are appreciated.
So we'll be out there covering this for you, and you guys all stay safe.
These videos are brought to you by our premium members, our mobile internet aficionados. They make it possible for us to track this news and create these videos. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe to our channel, or better yet, consider becoming a member yourself.